car he was in collided with a flatbed truck. Stevie was in a coma for several days.
I think he kind of connects with God during that time. But right at the bottom it said, "Thank you, God, because it was through God that these songs came."
From the moment Mick and Keith met through to U2 as a high school band in Dublin, how did our biggest music legends make the leap? Passion, talent, luck, and even scandal often came together to propel these stars from obscurity to household name. The stories, the journey, the wild behind the scenes, and much more. I'm Dave Anthony, and I'm the host of From Garage to Stadiums.
In August 1973, while traveling through North Carolina, mere days after the critically acclaimed Innovating album was released, Stevie is involved in a serious car accident. A car he was in collided with a flatbed truck, and a log from the truck struck him in the head. Stevie was in a coma for several days, and when he finally woke up, incredibly, he lost his sense of taste and smell. Thankfully, he regained his lost senses shortly after.
And that 73 Innovations, Paolo, was the first of his Grammy run. He won the Grammy Album of the Year that year.
Okay.
And then it followed up that with 74. He's got Fulfilling This First Finale.
Yeah. What does that
Boogie
mean?
On, Reggae Woman.
What does
You
that
Haven't
mean,
Done
fulfilling
Nothing.
this first finale? I remember when I was a kid, it was like, Steve's got a new album out. What's it called? Fulfilling this first finale. What?
I know, that's a hard one.
The what? The finale is what? Yeah.
After his accident, Stevie was more committed than ever to using his music to reflect the world's beauty and its injustices. His 1974 album, Fulfilling This's First Finale, won a Grammy for the second year in a row for Album of the Year. It contains songs like Boogie On, Reggae Woman, You Haven't Done Nothing, which featured fellow Motown act the Jackson 5 and a young Michael Jackson, and Please Don't Go. The album also won 3 other Grammys that year.
I think he kind of connects with God during that time, like higher ground. He's talking about spiritual uplift. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about the higher ground. He's talking about the ground that Jesus walks on.
Yeah.
That's and you know, on Songs in the Key of Life, I remember there was a leaflet, a pamphlet with the lyrics, but right at the bottom it said, "Thank you, God, because it was through God that these songs came." So so I think and it was close, wasn't it? Like you say, he was in a coma, and took him a bit of time to recover, but I think he probably found God there. I think.
Well, he talks about that in one of his quotes. He said, I lost my sight, but God gave me the gift of music.
Yeah.
Like, in other words, God gave me something that very few people have.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy goes on this
incredible run,
so much so that the next album, the one you referenced, Songs in the Key of Life, which I think that's the peak? Is that where we're getting to the peak here?
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. What I love about Stevie is he gets all this fame and acclaim and whatever, but he keeps his eyes on the prize, which is the music. And he spends 2 years on that album. And
yeah, that's right.
The people were saying who were working on it were just like, he was doing 18-hour days, And
think about that, the folks in the audience. You're on this run where you've won 2 Grammys in a row.
Yeah.
You're so hot. You would think the pressure to go, I got to strike while the iron is hot. Instead, he spends 2 more years.
Yeah. That's
75.
Yeah.
75, 76 to do this album. Amazing.
And I remember it was a bass player or whatever. Said 4:00 in the morning and the phone rings.
Yeah.
Stevie, I got a good one. Get to the studio.
I got an idea. Get in there. Yeah.
And God, what songs are on there, man?
Well, there's Sir Duke.
Yeah, that's all right, but that's good. It's got
I Wish.
Nah, Joy Inside My Tears. Oh, I love that song.
Yeah. What else do you like on there?
As is just amazing. And then with the single you give away, that Love's in Need of Love Today is my mate went to see him. Stevie played Hyde Park, and Hyde Park's a huge place.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he did Songs in the Key of Life, and he said, I wrote this song 50 years ago today, and
Wow.
it pains me to say that it's more relevant today than it ever was.
Wow.
And he played Loves.
That must have been awesome.
Yeah.
It was a double album too. I mean, to your point about output.
Throw me some more of the songs. Joy Inside Your Tears.
Love's in Need of Love. Have a Talk with God. Sir Duke, I Wish. Pastime Paradise. Isn't she lovely? Is one of those.
Yeah,
poppy
I always
ones.
used to skip that one, but I Wish is on there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how funky is that?
That is
I
great.
remember walking. I was at college, and I was walking to college. It was what we called a disco,
Yeah.
And it was a summer night, and it was blaring out. I Wish. I just stopped in the middle of this driveway. Just went, wow, this just sounds.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard it before. I knew it was Stevie.
He sort of has these songs that you recognize instantly, but you can't remember the title because they're just so cool. You're listening to the music.
Yeah. And then he put that and then there's a single that comes with the album, an extra 4 tracks.
Yeah.
He's got Another Star on there, which is, one of his classics. I mean, it would go on any best of albums.
Yeah, it was such a funny story in 76, I guess, because Songs in the Key of Life out in 76. So he wins the Grammy in 77 because of the next year. But Paul Simon wins in 76, and he says, I want to just thank, this is an acceptance speech, I want to thank Stevie Wonder for not putting out an album this year to allow me to win the Grammy.
That's about right, isn't it? That's about right.
After those experimental and expansive Stevie works of the 1970s, the so-called classic period, Stevie releases the 1980 album Hotter Than July, which marks a return to shorter, more radio-friendly tracks. Its mix of pop appeal, political messaging, and musical influences of funk, reggae, soul, and pop showcase Stevie's versatility without the conceptual heaviness of earlier albums. It showed that Stevie could still evolve while staying grounded in soul music. It hit number 3 on the US charts, went platinum, and became Stevie's biggest success in the UK, 4 times platinum. More than just a hit record, Hotter Than July marked the start of Stevie's role as not just a musical genius, but a cultural activist with a global voice. An example of the reggae influence is the track Master Blaster Jammin', which was a tribute to Bob Marley. Stevie had been deeply influenced by Marley and even toured with him in 1979. The song contains the lyrics, quote, "From the park, I hear rhythms, and Marley is hot on the box." The song was a top 10 hit in several countries.
Past the 70s, he gets into sort of, I guess, the reggae, Master Blaster, and a few others. Or anything that stands out?
Album, I was a melody maker. And the first album that I reviewed of his was Hotter Than July, which was the one up next after Songs. And it was okay, but it was patchy.
The interesting thing on the 80 album is he has that song Happy Birthday. He's advocating socially now for Martin Luther King so that there's a national holiday in the US for King, which ultimately does happen in 1983. So he played a huge part in raising awareness of that issue. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. He knows how to use his position, his power, his influence to affect change. And there's no better example of that than that, is there?
As the 1980s progressed, Stevie was commissioned to write the soundtrack for the film Woman in Red. The soundtrack features Stevie's biggest hit, I Just Called to Say I Love You, which hit number 1 internationally and won the Academy Award for Best Original Song.
I interviewed him, in 86, 87. It was the Characters album, And I saw a show of his. So they flew me to Paris, and I saw a show of his there. Then we drove up. We went up to the next show, which was on the coast of France. Okay.
Yeah.
And during that gig, so remember, I've seen.
So this is 1980ish.
Yeah, and this is I've seen the set the night before, And there was a bit where it was one of the sort of Latin-y songs he did. Don't worry about a thing. You know, that's a bit Latin-y, right?
Yeah.
And there was a bit where he jammed, you know. So he's playing away, and I'm watching him. And suddenly I see him hit 3 chords, bang, bang. And I see him shout to the band, vamp on this, vamp on this. And I thought, he's writing a song on stage. He was writing a song on stage. He'd hit these songs. Yeah, honestly. You just go, wow.